It's been some while since I've had to take this position, almost 5 years to the day, and it's an unfortunate situation for us here at the University of North Texas. But we are where we are right now, and we're looking forward to our game this Thursday night, and our kids responding to the adversity we've been faced with. And I know our kids will respond, and they'll battle, and we'll move forward. And we didn't know how important it is to respect and honor Coach McCarney. Our staff is really tight bounded right now through this adversity. And we've got a veteran staff that have, some of us have been through this situation before. It's unfortunate. It's a great profession, and it can be a crappy business at times. But it is something that we will shoulder, and that we'll put on our backs, and we'll put our best foot forward as professionals, as we all are, and try to move this program forward in a manner that North Texas, the community, and the school will be proud of. And I'll open up to questions.
What's the feeling and the mood of the team at this point?
We met yesterday at a team meeting, and we talked about some things that were obviously we didn't want to hide anything, and we opened it up, and I told the kids how we felt as a staff, that we were going to lock arms, and that we were going to continue to fight, and that we were going to go out there and play our best football that we can over the next 7 weeks, and try to put ourselves in a position to win. Our kids are resilient. Kids are kids. They're hurting. We're all hurting. But we understand that Coach Mack wants us to move forward, and he would want our kids to move forward. And so that's what we're going to do. And we're circling the wagons as a team and as a staff and as a football program, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to move forward.
Team morale and camaraderie seems to have been issues throughout the season.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do, and maybe this helps galvanize everybody, bring everyone back together and put them all on the same page?
Sure. You know, when you go through adversity, it's like any family. You're going to have adversity. You're going to have difficult times. You're going to have things that don't go right. We felt like our program, our kids even talked about it, felt like we lost a father, you know, a big brother. And so our kids understand the circumstance, but they understand that we need to fight back, and they will fight back, and they're going to bound together even more and get that bond that we need so that we can come and play as one. We know we haven't played our best football in all areas of the team, and they know that we're accountable for it. They're accountable for it. We're responsible for our play on the field, and we're going to try to bring some excitement and some fun back. And that's my job, and that's what our staff's job to do, is try to get some excitement and some fun back in it, and just take the opportunity to know, hey, let's be proud of what we're wearing on our shirt, and not worry about the name on the back. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to start playing for North Texas, and not that we haven't, but it's got to mean more now that we're representing this university and representing this program. And so we're going to fight, and we're going to pull this thing together, and we're going to move forward. And that's our jobs. That's our jobs as coaches, to put our kids in a position to try to be successful on Thursday night and as the weeks to come. And we're going to accept all challenges. Nothing's going to change in terms of what was set in stone before. We still want to play great defense. We want to be great in the red zone. We want to take care of the football, and we want to be great in special teams. Those aren't going to change. That's not going to set the foundation of this program is not going to change. What we need to change, let's go have some fun. And that's what we got to do. We got to have some fun, and we're going to make it fun. And when it happened before 5 years ago, I tried to make it as fun as possible, and our kids responded, and I hope they'll do the same.
What do you do to make it more fun?
That's a secret. I can't tell you that. You know, it's Coach Canales and the staff buying into what I believe and what I believe our kids try to get the best out of our kids, and that's what I'm going to do. And I'm sorry.
What's the biggest difference from the first time you took over to now in your eyes? I mean, is there a different feeling in your sense of how you're approaching this job being the second time?
You know, the first time I wanted the job, I did. You know, I battled hard. I politicked well. I mean, I did everything I possibly could because this program meant so much to me in the short period of time that I was here. If you don't think it means anything more, you're nuts. It means everything to me. This place has given me a home. My wife and I a home. I'm loyal to this place. I'm loyal to the administration. I'm loyal to the president. I'm loyal to our student body. This place means more to me than you could ever imagine. And I'm hurting. I am. I'm honest. I'm hurting because I feel like we have let them down. Okay? So what are we going to do? I'm going to pick myself up. Right? I'm going to look up, I'm going to get up, and I'm going to keep fighting. That's what Coach Canales is about. And I'm going to try to bring that back to this program so that they can be proud of us again. And that's what I'm going to do. That's not going to change. Coach Canales isn't going to change who he is. Coach Canales is going to have a lot of fun. And our kids are going to have some fun.
You said the first time around you wanted the job.
Yes, sir.
Would you want the job a second time around?
Right now, all I'm concerned about is our kids. I want our kids to have some success. And I'm going to do everything I can to help our kids get in that position. Our staff is. That's what we're going to do. We as a group are going to try to put our kids in a position to be successful. I'm going to take one game at a time. I can't worry about the future. All I have is today. I'm not promised tomorrow. So I'm going to give it everything I've got today. All I've got. They're going to get everything they got from Coach Canales, and they know it. I was there this morning at Breakfast Club, 7 o'clock, making sure our kids were there at 7 o'clock. Smiling faces when they walked to the door and saw Coach Canales there. I want our kids to know how much they mean to me, to our staff, and to this program. It's important for us to start doing the right thing, and that's playing good, mean green football.
Were you surprised by the way the kids performed, the team performed against Portland State last week? It seemed like, they just didn't seem like their hearts were in it. Was that a surprise to you?
It was hard to explain what was going on. And talking with Coach Carney on the phone, we weren't executing in any area of football, offense, defense, special teams. I'd never seen anything like that in 30 years of coaching, had never experienced that. We've had bad nights. I remember our night when we played Rutgers and B.J. Daniels was the starting quarterback, and it was probably my worst nightmare, but it magnified by 3 times what happened on Saturday. I never saw it coming. None of us did. And it's unfortunate that it happened on homecoming with all our fans here, and we felt like we let them down, and we let Coach Mack down as a staff because we work so hard. We do. Tireless hours. We spend much time in preparation, and then to have that happen, it's unexplainable. I can't put my thumb on it and say, this is the reason it happened. I can't give you that answer. I know that it happened, but I know what we can do now. We have to move forward, and we got to get them back.
From a professional standpoint, you talk about taking over for Mac. Obviously, you spent a lot of time with him in his tenure here. Mm-hmm. From an emotional standpoint, and being a colleague and a friend of his, what's it like emotionally to take over for someone you worked with for so long?
Well, Coach Mack and I were together at South Florida, built a real strong relationship there, and feel like he's a big brother to me. I learned so much in 5 years here with Coach Mack, and the 6 years we were together at South Florida when we were there. So really 6 years with Coach Mack, and I've been as loyal as I could possibly be as a staff member. I love him. I consider him a big brother, a mentor, someone I learned from, and so obviously it hurts. I mean, I was in tears. I was in tears on Sunday morning when we met with him. So to see him hurt, we hurt. We're a family. It hurts. But he grabbed me. He said, take this program, take these kids, go win some games, make it fun, and go do some things people don't think you can do. And I'm going to take that to heart.
Short week, does that put you guys in a bit of a bind, especially considering it's Western Kentucky coming in?
Sure. I mean, we're playing one of the top teams in the East. I mean, they're 5-1 right now. They're 3-0 in conference. To me, they beat an SEC team. This is like the Green Bay Packers coming in here, trying to prepare for, and only having 4 days to get ready. That's going to be tough. But, that's what it is. What it is. It's life. Sometimes you're dealt that cards, and you got to play them, and we're going to play them. We're going to line them up on Thursday night, and we're going to give it our best shot.
What are the biggest differences in the program today that you take over versus the one you took over on an interim basis 4 years ago, 5 years ago?
Well, at that time, I had lost Nate Toon, the starting quarterback. Derek Thompson broke his leg at Army. Riley Jensen, we had to move back from receiver to quarterback, broke his hand. I was playing with a walk-on quarterback. We had 17 starters out after the first 4 games. Only 4 made it back. And we were probably at the bottom of all bottoms. We were. What's different now? Back then we were 1-6 or something like that. Right now we're 0-5. So what's the difference? One of my best friends, no longer the head coach. So there's a lot of similarities, but I think we have kids that truly believe they can win. They want to win. They want to prove some people wrong about saying the season's over, when's basketball season start, I think our kids are prideful. I think they're resilient and they'll bounce back. I think they want to prove that they can play football, and that what happened is unfortunate, but they're looking forward to moving forward.
Talk about making it fun, making some changes. Does one of those include a change of quarterback?
To be honest with you, I would hate to tell you who's going to start at quarterback because I don't want West Kentucky to prepare. But we'll keep that probably a secret right now till Thursday night. I'd like to tell you who it is, but that's something I wouldn't want to give West Kentucky a hand up on right now. They got enough hand ups, all right. They got enough good players out there and good coaches and everything else. I don't want to give them anything more. But you'll be happy.
Talk about Western Kentucky. I mean,
Yes.
Your opponent this week, I mean, there's a lot of other things going on, but this is a good football team with Doty and stuff like that.
Sure.
Just talk about the challenges they present.
Well, they're so strong offensively. They've got great tight ends. They got some receivers out there with great speed. Offensive line that does a great job protecting him. He's a very smart quarterback. They move the ball. They pick and choose when they're going to push the ball deep, push it down the field. They're very accurate in throwing the ball intermediate to short. They run the ball with good balance, creating both balance, both run and pass. Defensively, there's some guys on that staff that I coached against over the years. Ken Delgado, Don Dunn, Nick Holt I faced. I mean, they got some veteran coaches too, and they've done a great job. And Coach Brom and I are good friends. I mean, I went and visited him when I was at Arizona, and he was at Louisville. We went and spent some time with him talking about pass game. So I know what they're doing. They do very, very well. They're very talented. They're very skilled. Defensively, they'll create some problems because they're going to line up and play a lot of man-to-man, and we had a problem with that on Saturday. We couldn't beat man-to-man. We had a lot of drop passes, and we just can't do that and be effective on Thursday night or any day. If you can't beat one-on-one coverage, you're going to struggle, and they're going to create that for you. And it happened just against Southern Miss. It happened again this past week, and I'm sure we'll see a lot of it this week.
Talk about Doty. I mean, this guy's an NFL prospect.
Sure.
He's played real well. I mean, what is it that makes him such a talent, such a threat?
He's really smart. I mean, he's obviously when you watch him on film, and we've got to see him, in preparation for other teams. We went back and looked at some of the things they were doing against opponents. He's really good with the ball, and he does a great job of looking off and moving linebackers and moving safeties where they need to be so he can get the look that he wants, so he can get the passing lane that he needs. He moves well in the pocket. He has great pocket presence, and he throws a very good catchable ball. I mean, and you can see why he's an NFL prospect. And Coach Brom has played in the National Football League, so he's teaching him on a National League mentality, and you see it as he performs. So he's obviously a very good quarterback, and I'm sure that somebody will probably be invited to the Combine and probably play in the National Football League, and we'll probably see him.
In the last 7 games, what's the priority of ensuring that DeMarcus Smith is fully developed by the end of the season and play next year? How high a priority is that in the last 7 games?
It's a high priority. I mean, we tried to bring him along. Spring ball was so important, and he missed it. And as we went through camp, and it was a battle, and everybody's competing, he really struggled. He just didn't understand, and he struggled with the signals and the things like that. And it became a liability with what he was doing. And so, but as we've gone through the last 5 games in preparation, the Southern Miss, he made a lot of mistakes. He did. He miscalled probably 5 or 6 calls, had opportunities to make some plays and didn't. And then we gave him a chance last Saturday, and it looked like a whole different guy. He executed well, checked at the line of scrimmage, got us into a good play. He was able to scramble and move around and make some plays with his feet, which is it's another added dimension that we can use, obviously. And we've been waiting for the development. It's like anything else. I wouldn't want to put my 12-year-old son in a Corvette and ask him to drive when he's not ready. So it's like anything else. Hopefully he's ready now, and that he showed it on Saturday with what he did, and we'll evaluate throughout the week, and we'll see how it plays out.
Is part of making it fun and expanding the offense and making it more aggressive and pushing the ball down the field more than you have?
I think that's a lot of it too. You've got to do what your kids can do, and with what we had at the quarterback situation, we asked Andy Mack to do some of our RPOs throws, and that was his strength. And with Josh, we know Josh's strengths too as well. With DeMarcus, we can push the ball down the field. He has a strong arm, one of the strongest arms I've been around in my 30 years of coaching. He's one of the top 5 guys I've ever coached that have that strong of arm. But there's more to just having an arm and throwing the ball down the field. It's mentally being able to execute and do what you ask him to do. So he gives us that capability just to push the ball down the field. Will we open it up? Sure. We got nothing to lose. That's what I told our staff this morning when we met. We got nothing to lose. Let's blitz. Let's play man-to-man. Let's open it up. What do we got to lose? We got a lot to gain. And that's where we're going to approach it.
DeMarcus obviously is an interesting story because he goes to Western Kentucky where he was at.
Mm-hmm.
Has he talked about that, or you think is that going to be special for him to play a team that he was with and some guys that he was with?
He knows a lot of the players. We talked about it last night. He came through the office, was watching film, and he said, Coach, I know all these guys on defense. I had to go against them, scout team, and as we were going through the program. And I said, it's great. And they said, we can talk more about that, as we go through the week. But he has a good feel for what they do. He knows the challenges that we have and that they have. And he says, Coach, I know some of their weaknesses. I know what I can do with the personnel over there. But and not in a cocky or confident way. It was just more, I know who they are. And he has great respect for that team. And they were brothers at one time. And now he's their opponent. So, yes, he does know him.
You talked about opening it up, taking some chances. Do you feel like you guys might have put it too conservative at the start of the year?
I'd rather not comment on that. I think that we're looking forward and moving forward, and we're going to take maybe a different approach and to what we want to do. And I believe in Coach Mack, and I'll never not believe in his philosophy. I love him, and I believe in him.
A lot of, I don't want to say backlash, but social media, you've got alumni, some players, sounding off on just the state of where everything's at.
Mm-hmm.
Now as the head coach, how do you galvanize your leaders in the locker room to, stick together and not,
Sure.
air their dirty laundry?
Sure. One of the first rules that Coach Canales put out there, no social media. I don't want to see it. If I see it, there's consequences. And I was very direct with it. And I'm going to be, I personally will not, but somebody will be scanning Twitter, Facebook. I said, you want to tweet? The next time you should tweet is after we win. That's the next time you can tweet. Until then, shelve it. Let's bound this house. Let's make our tent small. Let's make our house firm. Because when you send out things like that, whether you're unhappy or not, or you're voicing your opinion, you're letting everybody else know. And that's what we shouldn't do right now. We should make sure that we're focused on going and winning a football game. And I think that's real important. So that's what we're going to do right now. And hopefully they'll follow through it, because there'll be consequences if they don't.
This program was at the highest point in its history after that part of Dallas Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
How did it get to this point? Do you have any idea, or what is your feeling about what went wrong between now and then?
It's hard for me to answer that question, to be honest with you. I don't think that it's something that I feel comfortable answering, to be honest with you. I know that we are where we are right now. I don't think it's anybody's fault. It is what it is, and I'm just trying to help try to get back on the right track and see if we can win some games over the last 7 games. That's what I'm going to try to do. That's my job, and that's what I promised Rick I would do, and our administration and the school, and that's what I'm going to do. I would rather not make comment on those things. It's my opinion doesn't matter. What I'm responsible for to do is get our players to go in the right direction with a lot of heart and be prideful and proud of the school they represent and go win some ball games.
Rick said during his press conference on Saturday that this team has not been competitive in really any facet of the game. How much more difficult does that make your job coming in as an interim coach in the middle of the year, having to work on every single thing?
Sure. I mean, that's what we talked about in our staff meeting. We approached it as the past is the past, and I mentioned that to our players. We can't get it back. We can't get the first 5 games back. We can't. Sure, we'd like to go back and play SMU again, Rice, Iowa, we'd love to go back, but you can't. You get 1 shot. So we got 7 shots left. And we're going to try to be as competitive as we can and put good football on the field so the people and the fans will be proud of us again. And we owe that to you. We do. We owe that to this university and to our administration and to the school. We do.
When you took over last time, the kids really did rally around you. Those last 5 games were a completely different team than the first 7. Do you feel like you've got the kids, not just the talent, but the right attitude in the locker room to do the same thing?
I think it's going to be step by step. You know, there was a lot of kids there was actually no kids that were on that team that were there. But we do have 3 graduate assistant coaches that were part of that team, and I mentioned that to them. I mentioned to them, I said, if you have any questions what it was like when Coach Canales took over, ask Brandon Bird, Mason White Barbo, Nick Summerfield. They were here. They'll tell you what it was like. And so all I'm going to do is try to be me and try to get some confidence back in our kids a little bit right now and try to get them to move forward. And not just me, not just Coach Canales, our staff. The great thing about it is we've been together a lot of us have, over the last 4 or 5 years. Coach Simmons and Coach Patrick, we were together at South Florida. Coach Patrick and I were part of building the University of South Florida's program with Jim Levitt. You talk about not having anything. We didn't have anything. We didn't have a practice field, we didn't have helmets, we didn't have football, we didn't have any of that stuff. And we built the team. And we did it with a lot of hard work, and that's what we talked about, hard work and enthusiasm and passion and love for the game. And that's what we're going to try to instill. I'm not going to change who I am. I don't have a magic pill or magic water for them to drink and go, hey, man, we're going to go win 7 games. I don't have that. What I have is me, and what I have is our staff. And all I'm going to try to do is bring out the best in our players with what we're trying to get them to do. And if that means jumping up and down on the sidelines, if that means slapping high fives and bumping and whatever it takes from now till 7 weeks from now, that's what I'm going to do. They're going to get all of Coach Canales and all of our staff. And that's all you can ask. That's all I can ask. And in return, all I'm going to ask them is to give me everything you got for each other, not for me, for each other and for this program and for this university. That's all I can ask. That's what I did last time. I didn't ask them to play for me. I asked them to play for each other and go play for this university and be damn proud about wearing this. It's got to mean something. And that's what I wanted to do. That's all.
You've always said you wanted to be a head coach at some point. Is that, as you go down your second stop here as an interim head coach, is that something you still aspire to be at some point in your career?
That is my dream. That's always been the goal when I started. And I've interviewed many places, and it just hasn't worked out. But eventually, hopefully, someone will give me that opportunity. But when the cleats hang up one of these days, the whistle goes away, and I put up the visor, and I never had that opportunity, at least I said I've had it as an interim head coach. And that means the world to me. And I'll be very proud of that. But I do believe I can be a head coach. And eventually, maybe one of these times, I'll get an opportunity. Somebody will say, hey, man, you know what, that guy knows what he's doing. Give him a chance. You know, we'll see. But I'm not worried about that right now. What I'm worried about is our kids, our coaching staff, our program, and representing this university as the best I can over the next 7 weeks.
When did you guys get started preparing for Thursday? With like the news, the mourning, the grief, and the emotions and all that stuff. When did you guys actually get started?
That's Sunday morning. After it all hit, I didn't sleep much. Obviously, Saturday night, I don't think many of us did. I was there early in the morning, Sunday morning. Started grading the film. Got about halfway through it, and I had to stop. The emotions kind of took over. And then I put on West Kentucky. And I went, oh, God, they're pretty dang good, you know. And then I thought, you know what? This is a great opportunity. This will be a great challenge. And then we waited to hear what was going to happen. And then when we found out the decision that Coach Villarreal made, Rick made, then we moved forward. We said, this is what we need to do. I talked to the staff, said, this is the direction I would like to go as a staff. This is what I'd like to do with our players. We had a team meeting. I made some rules and some expectations of how they should play the next 7 games and asked them to buy in, asked them to lock arms. Let's go try it. Let's go play. And let's move forward, because that's what Coach Mack would want us to do.
Just logistically, you've always called places to press by on the side. How are you guys going to handle that? Are you going to have one of your assistant coaches up there?
Yeah, Coach Grant will move to the press box, and then when I did it before, I called it from the field, and I had Conroy Hines up top, and then I'd be rolling, and all of a sudden, something would come up, and I'd say, "Hey, Conroy, you got it. Take the next series." We've been in the room together 5 years. Coach Grant and I, and Coach Cotero and Coach Simmons. And Coach Perry's been with us now going on 3. We know each other. We know the plan. The plan's already put out, and it's just more of a feel of the game, how things are going. And so, it's pretty easy, I think, once you get going and get rolling. And all through spring ball and all through fall camp, I was never up in the press box when we were scrimming against each other and was calling plays. So it won't be that big a deal. I'll probably look for assistance and help in certain situations. And, both Coach Q and Coach G will do a great job in assisting and helping us at that time.